now we're happy to welcome Wael, Director of Dext Ventures. And I'm happy to see you here, and we'll be happy to ask questions and hear answers. Hello, how are you?
Likewise, great. I'm doing amazing. Thank you, Yvonne, and thank you, Incrypted, for having me on today. And thanks, everybody, for watching all around the world. And of course, shout out to Ukraine. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you. I see you have a great micro. It's short, like mine.
It is a
So,
sure, but I was having technical problems, so I'm using
no, I
the.
see. So it's just for the beauty. Okay, so let's move on to the questions. Part of it from the team, part of it from community. So first, let's
Awesome.
dive into Dext Ventures. So what does Dext Ventures do, and what is it focused on?
Yeah, of course. So Dext Ventures is the investment arm of DEXTools, one of the leading DeFi analytical platforms with over 5 million monthly users. And DEXTools gives us a unique vantage point in emerging trends, real-time market data, and the next generation of Web3 builders. At Dext Ventures, we don't just invest capital, we invest into distribution, credibility, ecosystem support, and our core focus is backing early stage projects with real utility. That includes like new blockchains, L1s, L2s, DeFi infrastructures. Of course, hot narratives like AI agents, AI infrastructure, RWA, DPIN. Like ultimately, we're here to help the most promising teams go from zero to traction with funding, marketing, and access to one of the most active DeFi user bases in the world, to put in short.
Sure. So it's very normal development of any successful project when you have some spare money to make a ventures branch. So which areas of Web3 do you see as the main investment focus in the coming year? So maybe you can name 3 key sectors.
Of
or maybe
course,
more.
that's a great question. So I think first, everybody's talking about the integration of AI, and that's like projects that combine artificial intelligence with smart contracts, trading automation, security, and predictive modeling. So I think AI native protocols will redefine how we interact on-chain and build personalized intelligent applications. So imagine having your own personalized AI agent, finding the best yields for you, minimizing risk from automatic stop losses, even taking profits so you're not round tripping, your gains. I think that's huge, and we're seeing a huge traction in the direction of AI integrated products in crypto. RWA, of course, as a VC meeting with a bunch of founders, Web2 founders, we're seeing the idea of people looking to tokenize their assets, real world assets, onto the blockchain, from like real estate, treasury bills to decentralized physical infrastructures like storage and compute. And we're seeing that huge shift. Those are 2 huge ones. And I think the last one, if we're going to stick with 3, is consumer crypto and the gamified UX. I still think there's a barrier to entry for a lot of people. So like simplifying user onboarding, I think it will be the biggest unlock. Wallet as a service, on-chain identity, social apps, and gamified finance platforms, making Web3 not only usable, but fun and sticky for mainstream users. So at Dext Ventures, we focus on projects that combine strong narratives, real traction, and sustainable token models.
Okay, maybe GTA 6 will help to make Web3 closer to gamify, because the rumor said that they use some mechanics of Web3.
It could onboard the next 100 million users, of course. A lot of people are waiting for
Sure.
GTA 6, looking forward to it.
Okay, so next question. Which indicators and metrics do you consider when assessing a project? For example, on-chain metrics like TVL or the project team, or maybe your particular indicators?
That's a great question as well. There's a combination of indicators that we look at when doing our due diligence. I think number 1 is team. Team and the track record, the execution of the team. Have they shipped before? Are they anonymous? Are they doxed? Do they have that grit? Because markets move fast, teams need to move faster, adapt faster. So we value domain expertise, founder market fit, the ability to attract top talent. A good idea is nothing without world-class execution. And the team's quite important. Tokenomics as well. We assess how the value flows through the ecosystem. Is the token even essential? Is there pressure? Is there market fit? Are the incentives aligned for long-term growth? So tokenomics is quite essential. Also, of course, the FDV, the vesting structure, because, if I'm being blunt, VCs want to turn a profit. So is it even profitable, or are we just locking up our, capital for years when we could just invest into Bitcoin and buy more Bitcoin, which is liquid? On-chain metrics, which you mentioned, but if we're coming in investing pre-TGE, we might not see those on-chain metrics unless it's testnet, which most of the time it's inflated. If there's a point system, airdrop system, then you're seeing inflated numbers. So we're looking at some sort of MVP, because last cycle we were doing a lot of investing on white papers or ideas, metaverse, GameFi. So it's like, okay, we want to see an MVP, we want to see a demo, an alpha, we want to see some sort of traction, and then a narrative fit is important. Is there a narrative fit? Will there be buy pressure on TGE? Timing is the difference between going viral and going unnoticed. So we combine a lot of these fundamentals with community signals and our real insights from DEXTools platform to make conviction-based bets.
For sure. It's like Silicon Valley basis when you make a bet on the team, and you can pivot anytime with the project, the idea, but the team is the core.
Bet on people.
We have two more questions before we move to the next speaker. So how does the current crypto market cycle differ from the previous ones? What key distinctions would you point out, and where do you think the market will go next? Just a few.
It's a great question, because this market is completely different. I think it's driven more by fundamentals and not just hype. I mean, you can't ignore the volume going into the meme coins, but last cycle we saw speculation lead the charge. As I mentioned, people were raising tons of capital without any substance, with no demos, MVPs, and it was just more so a mere idea. Now we're seeing real adoption, tokenized assets, institutional involvement, and infrastructure being used at scale. So I think VCs, and us particularly, we're quite selective and more cautiously optimistic on our allocations. Investors are smarter, retail is smarter. People don't want to invest in high FDV projects with extremely restrictive long vestings when they could just ape into a meme coin and try to get that 10-20x. So the difference is like stronger foundations from custody to compliance. The base layer is more mature, and I think we've seen a huge narrative shift. It's not just like DeFi, NFTs, GameFi. We have like RWAs, AI, DeepIn that are pushing real-world use cases. So to cut it short, where the market's going, I think we're entering a utility-driven bull run where projects with real users, real value, and sticky products will dominate. But you can't ignore what we've seen with the communities being built around the meme coins and the volume, pouring into them. So that's kind of the shift that I'm seeing.
And one more difference, it's Donald Trump, I guess.
Of course, that leads into the next question.
Yeah. So the next and the last question. So which regions would you describe as the most promising for the growth of cryptocurrency and Web3 industry?
This one I'll answer personally, because I specifically moved to the UAE, and it's why I moved to Dubai to embrace crypto here, because the government, as I mentioned, embraced crypto extremely early. They offer clear regulatory frameworks, built real infrastructure to support the industry. Coming from Canada, it was quite restrictive. Here, it's like not just hype. Founders are here, investors are here, VCs, builders, everybody's relocating to Dubai. And we're seeing momentum, as you said, in the US. But before I touch on the US, a month or two ago, we had Crypto Week with Token 2049, 400 plus events. The government's moving extremely fast. Different emirates from Ras Al Khaimah to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, they're all leading in different fronts. And it's quite impressive to see. So I'm happy being here, but you can't ignore what's happening in the US, especially with the Trump's administration you touched on. With their pro-crypto stance, the US could emerge as a major hub, so I wouldn't ignore them. I know people are quite bullish on the US now, especially if regulatory clarity continues to improve. And then beyond that, Southeast Asia, Latin America, they remain hotspots, fast-growing and open to new financial systems.
I want to ask you to add Ukraine officially in this list, because we have a very strong and active community, and Vlad, which was my co-host previously, is the head of Encrypted Key. It's the marketing agency solution which helps to enter our market to all the international projects. So I think that we can keep in touch. And
of course. And I'd love to come and visit and actually attend some of these events.
You're always welcome.
I appreciate it. And lastly, Ukraine to end with, a financial crypto hub that is evolving and maturing. So I'll see you there.
Thank you very much. So see you soon.
Likewise. Thank you for having me, Incrypted. I appreciate everybody watching. Shout out to Ukraine.
Bye-bye.
Bye.